Hi, this is Joe Bonamassa, and I'm in Guitar Center in Hollywood in the Vintage Platinum Room, a place that I spent a lot of time and even more money. And we're talking about a Flying V that came in to Guitar Center in Sacramento in 2017. This is known in certain parts of the world as the trash bag Flying V. Why? Because it was found literally leaning against the corner of a room with a, quote, bin liner, AKA a trash bag, over it. And it belonged to a guy named Gino Landry in Sacramento, California. And his niece was tasked with settling his estate after he passed away. And he had two instruments. He had a Selmer Mark VI saxophone, which she brought to another music store, which they bought. The next day, she brings this to the same music store, and they say to her, "We don't really deal in this kind of thing. Why don't you try Guitar Center?" That's where I come in. I got a call and a text message in early first quarter of 2017, and I was doing something really stupid. I'd purchased a 1934 Ford pickup truck in Seattle from a friend of mine, and my friend and I flew up there, picked it up, got the keys and the title, and drove it 1,200 miles south on the 5, which is, if you're an old car person, don't do that. That was really stupid. Anyway, about 4 hours from Sacramento, I'm getting gas now for the 10th time, and Nick Conti texts me the pictures of the Flying V. Old guitars reveal themselves, and the pictures look great. And he happened to be going up to Sacramento to look at the guitar the following day, and we happened to be stopping for the night. So I said, "I'll meet you at the Guitar Center in Sacramento." And we did. So we were sitting there for an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'm like, classic no-show. Next thing you know, a guy comes in and says, "Hey, Nick, your people are here." And that's when I got introduced to the trash bag Flying V. The lady thought it was worth very little. And to everyone's credit, she was informed that it was worth a hell of a lot. There's no real dignity or integrity in stealing someone's instrument. You know, you want to pay them fair, especially if they're oblivious to what it's worth. And this is one of about 90-something original Flying Vs that were made in 1958. And this one goes on the road with me. I have 3 of them. And this one goes on the road. This is a rock guitar. The other ones are a little more subtle, one's a little more bright, and one's really freaking mint, and that doesn't get played much. But this one needs to be played. So this is the trash bag V that I've had now for 6 years. And I always tell people, you could work at a music store, have a shop, have 303 stores like Guitar Center, and you can live 2 or 3 lifetimes and not have something this rare and this original walk in the front door. And lo and behold, there it was in all its glory. Well, Flying Vs are inherently their own, beast. Imagine going into a music store in 1958 and you're with your parents and you want to play guitar and you have choices, many choices in 1958. You had Fenders, Gibsons, Gretschens, even Guilds, and you see this thing hanging on the wall and you go, Mommy, Daddy, I want that. They're like, no effing way you're going to get that. Even worse with the Explorer, which is even bigger. So one of the things that sticks out about a Flying V, why are they so collectible, is because they were ahead of their time and they were, at the time, not successful. They quit about, halfway through the 3rd batch of them. And they quit probably 1 batch into the Explorers. That's why they're more rare than the Flying Vs. So to recreate that storm that makes these so valuable these days, it's almost impossible because you'd have to have the foresight to invent something so forward thinking that nobody would appreciate it in its lifetime. Not until people like Billy Gibbons and Albert King and all the Flying V guys started to use these because they have a unique sound. It's not a Les Paul, it's not a 335, it's somewhere in the middle. And it's because of the Carina wood or African limba that gives it that kind of bright, pokey, yet warm sound. And it only happens with Flying V's and Explorers because of the wood. So I heard Ted McCarty's wife took all the extra Carina wood and made kitchen cabinets out of it. So when I redid my kitchen here in LA, I bought Carina, so I have Carina kitchen cabinets. Clearly, I'm not married, ladies and gentlemen. Clearly.